And every evening after dinner, my grandfather sat in the same chair by the window, like he'd always been there. I wanted that chair, the empty cushion, big enough for two people, worn at the armrest, soft in the middle from years of carrying someone. I'd run across the room and try to get there first. He'd laugh every time, tap the cushion beside him, and make room for me like he'd been expecting it. So I'd sit there, half on a chair, half on him. The empty cushion holding both of us while the television played quietly, and daylight disappeared outside the glass. We didn't always talk. Sometimes he watched the news, sometimes he fell asleep. Sometimes we just sat there, listening to the house settle for the night. I thought it would always be that way. When you're 8, everything feels permanent. The chair, the room, the people you don't know yet. The empty cushion waiting in the corner beside the lamp, beside the window, beside a future nobody mentioned. Then one day the chair was empty. No explanation made sense, not really. Adults spoke softly, doors opened and closed, people visited, then eventually stopped. But the chair stayed, the empty cushion exactly where it always was. The same fabric, the same shape, the same afternoon sunlight. Nobody sat there, not my parents, not visitors, not even me. For a long time it felt wrong somehow, like the chair belonged to somebody who was only late and might still walk in. Years passed quietly. The house changed, the wallpaper changed, the television changed, the chair didn't. The empty cushion growing older with the room holding a shape nobody could completely explain, but everybody understood. Last winter I went back home. The chair was still there, smaller than I remembered, older than I remembered, but somehow exactly the same. I sat down carefully for the first time in years. The room was silent, no television, no voices, no footsteps in the hallway, just memory. The empty cushion carrying more than fabric, more than foam, more than springs beneath the cloth, carrying evenings, carrying laughter, carrying the feeling of being 8 years old and believing the people you love stay forever. I sat there until sunset, watching the light fade across the room. like always. I was 25 when I moved into my first apartment. The walls were too white, the rooms echoed, and nothing felt like home yet. I bought a second-hand chair, the corner seat, faded fabric, one loose armrest, a stain nobody could explain, and a comfort I couldn't afford new. I carried it upstairs myself. 3 flights, sweating through a Saturday afternoon, wondering why a chair could feel heavier than everything else I owned. But it belonged there, the corner seat, tucked beside the window, facing the television, facing the room, like it had been waiting for me. The first few months were loud, friends dropping by unannounced, pizza boxes on the floor, music playing too late, people talking over each other. The apartment felt alive, someone was always there. The corner seat, holding whoever arrived first, the storyteller, the loudest friend, the one who stayed too late, talking about impossible plans. I thought those nights would last forever. Most people do, and life started happening. Jobs changed, people moved away, relationships appeared then disappeared. The group got smaller, one ordinary year at a time, until some nights it was just me. The corner seat, same place by the window, same worn cushion, same lamp glowing beside it, only quieter now. I learned something there. Loneliness and peace look surprisingly similar from a distance. Some evenings I'd sit there until sunrise, not because I was sad, not because I was happy, just because there was nowhere else I needed to be. The city outside would sleep, cars disappearing, streetlights humming softly, the refrigerator making small noises in the kitchen, and the chair carrying me through another night. The corner seat, holding laughter 1 year, holding silence the next, never choosing between them, never treating either one differently. That's what I loved about it. A crowded room, an empty room, the chair didn't care. Last month, I sat down after work, the apartment older now, the furniture different, the view outside changed, but the chair remained. I ran my hand across the armrest and remembered everything. The birthdays, the breakups, the phone calls, the nights friends slept on the floor, the mornings I watched sunlight fill the room alone. corner seat, still carrying the weight of every version of me that ever sat there. 25, 28, 32, all of them still somewhere inside that fabric. And sometimes, when the room gets quiet enough, it almost feels like they're all sitting there together. I'm 38 now, and the old chair is still here. Same corner of the living room, same place beside the window, same place beside the lamp. The fabric has faded where the fabric fades. The sunlight found it first, year after year, leaving pale marks across the armrest and cushion. I never replaced it. People have suggested it. Friends, family, even delivery guys sometimes. Why don't you buy a new one? I always smile and change the subject. Where the fabric fades, there are things newer furniture could never understand. Things stitched into the fabric long before the color disappeared. Some nights after work, I sit there without turning on the TV. No music, no phone, no distractions, just the room being a room, and me being tired. At 38, rest feels different. When you're younger, rest means recovering. Now sometimes it means stopping, just stopping. Where the fabric fades, the evening sunlight disappears, the room slowly darkens, and nobody asks anything of me for an hour or two. That's enough. The chair knows every version of me. The excited one, the heartbroken one, the hopeful one, the exhausted one. All of them sat here, all of them left something behind. Sometimes I run my hand across the faded armrest and remember apartments that don't exist anymore. Friends I don't call enough, jobs I no longer have, dreams that quietly change shape without asking permission. Where the fabric fades, the years show themselves honestly. No hiding, no pretending, no fresh coat of paint. Just time, visible at last. The strange thing is, I don't feel sad looking at it. Not really. The fading feels earned somehow, like wrinkles on a face proof that something stayed long enough to matter. Last winter, a storm knocked the power out. The whole apartment went dark. No television, no internet, no lights. Just me and that old chair. I sat there for hours, listening to rain against the windows, watching headlights pass outside, thinking about absolutely nothing important. And it felt perfect. Where the fabric fades, the room becomes quieter. The world becomes slower. And for a little while, nobody needs to be anywhere else. The chair is older now, so am I. The fabric is lighter, the cushion is softer. The springs complain sometimes, but neither of us is in a hurry. Tonight I'll sit there again, not because I'm lonely, not because I'm resting,